Let's review the control panel. Located on the right side of the cab, you'll find a full-color touchscreen and mini round joystick with buttons. The user-friendly touchscreen is used to manage the whole machine. It's very easy to navigate, highly intuitive, and can present in 12 different languages. The machine management software installed on the touchscreen gathers all usage data and displays them over 3 different pages on the screen. Navigating between these pages is extremely easy, even for beginners. Navigation and selection can be achieved either by touching the screen or via the round joystick, whichever you prefer. The Magni has integrated diagnostics for fast and simple troubleshooting of electrical issues, resulting in less downtime. If a fault is detected, the system automatically shuts off any movement likely to worsen the fault and displays an alarm code, which you can share with your dealer's service department. So let's go ahead and explore this amazing system. As mentioned previously, there are 3 pages available. You will find that all of the pages contain the following items. On the top left corner of the screen is a Magni M. Depressing this will provide access to various service menus. You should not utilize this function unless you are a trained service technician or are being instructed remotely to do so by your dealer. On the top right corner of the screen is the warning alarm, which will flash if needed to indicate an issue with the machine. If flashing, depress that item, which will provide you with specific codes that should be shared with a Magni authorized service technician. At the top left center of the screen is the time of day. At the top right center is the total hours logged on the machine. At the bottom of each screen, you'll notice right and left arrows. These can be used to toggle between the 3 screens. On all screens, anytime a button is displayed in the color blue, this indicates that the function is on or active. Let's now review the driving page. The driving page contains the options available to the driver relating to driving the machine. In the upper screen area, at the top left of the page, is the selection for the speed range. There are 2 speeds available. You have Turtle, which is slow, and Rabbit, which is high. Turtle is the low gear and is mostly used when additional torque is needed. This would include on the job site, when loading the machine on a flatbed, or when moving up an incline. Rabbit is the high gear and is used when the operator desires to drive the machine at a higher rate of speed. The Magni's top speeds vary by model, but moving fast should only be done when the machine is in 2-wheel steering mode, the boom is fully retracted, and the attachment is secured. To set the speed range, the machine must first be in neutral and the engine at idle. Depress the brake pedal and touch the button to activate the mode you want. You will actually see a turtle or rabbit image. At the top center is your speed indicator, which is displayed in miles per hour. At the top right is the transmission reset button, which will reset the synchronizers in the transmission if needed. Next, we have the DEF Add Blue gauge, which indicates the percentage of fluid remaining in the tank. It is important to note that this level must be maintained at over 25% or the machine will derate and the engine function will diminish. While you can override this, if you do it more than 3 times, the engine will not come out of the derate mode, and an authorized engine dealer will be required to visit the machine. Next is the RPM gauge, and here is the engine temperature gauge. Located in the center is your fuel gauge. Magnis only operate using diesel fuel. Clustered between these gauges is the instrument panel, which contains many warning lights. Should you encounter one, please refer to your manual and call your authorized Magni dealer. Here is the parking brake indicator light to let you know if it is engaged or not. Looking at the middle of the screen, you will see one circle over the top of the machine picture. The large white circle illustrates the level of the machine's chassis. There is a green bubble sensor, which shows the actual position. When the bubble sensor is located within the small center circle, it tells you that the machine is level. Unless moving the machine, you should always operate it when the machine is fully level. On the left side of the machine picture, there are 3 buttons that allow you to select the type of steering. Starting from the top, working down, front, 2-wheel steering. All, 4-wheel steering. Crab, all tires facing in the same direction. To change between steering modes, turn the wheel straight until the tire indicator turns green. Depress the brake pedal and push the desired steering function button, which will turn blue when activated. If the wheels are not straight, the desired steering function button will blink. To correct, simply turn the steering wheel slowly to straighten the wheels and the steering function will engage. Next, you'll find a circle next to the front and rear tires, which will illuminate green when each of the tires are straight. On the bottom left is the winter mode button. This function is used to help warm up the cab during cold weather conditions. With the machine on, press the button to activate it, which will increase the RPMs to help provide more heat. To the right of the machine is the limits button, which allows you to set the limit for boom height only. In order to set this limit, you extend and lift the boom to the desired location and then press and hold the button for 3 seconds. The button will turn blue and the numeric representation in feet will be displayed next to it. To turn off the limits, press and hold the button. On the bottom right is the Eco option. When the Eco mode function is engaged, the machine can drive at the maximum speed using only 1800 RPM, which provides increased fuel efficiency. Located below the machine picture are the plus and minus buttons. These are used to increase or decrease the RPMs during warm-up. Lastly, in the center is the chassis tilt lock for the rear axle. This is an automatic function and acts as an indicator only. Next is the load chart page. Magni uses a load moment indicator system, commonly known as LMI, which meets all the criteria for crane regulations. The screen includes a dynamic load chart and all key metrics, which allows the operator to know everything about the load, including where it is located within the chart. This Magni technology eliminates the opportunity for the operator to move into an unsafe zone. This allows you to work faster and safer, resulting in increased productivity. The first thing to note is that once your attachment is secured to the machine, it will be recognized by the RFID system. On the screen, you'll notice a graphic representation of the attachment, and at the top of the screen, it will list the attachment name. The top area of the screen provides detailed information about your load and the position of the boom. On the top left, there are 4 measurements, which represent the boom position. At the top left is listed the boom length, which is the measurement from the back of the boom to the boom tip in feet. At the top right is the boom height indicator, which is the measurement from the ground to the bottom of the attachment in feet. At the bottom left is the boom angle, which measures the angle from the ground to the bottom of the attachment in degrees. At the bottom right is the radius extension, which is the horizontal measurement from the center of the machine to the load center in feet. On the top right, there are 3 indicators. At the top right is a machine picture showing all 4 measurements we just reviewed that are on the left side of the screen. On the bottom left is the maximum capacity available, which is based on the attachment being used, and on the bottom right is the actual weight being picked. Moving to the middle of the page is the active load chart, which has the anvil in the red circle displaying the location of the load. This anvil moves within the chart as you move the load up or down and in or out. The numbers in yellow are a repeat of the numbers on the top left of the screen. Next is the command page. Starting at the top of the screen are the climate controls. All Magnis come standard with full heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. On the left, you'll find the button to turn on the air conditioning. When the color is blue, it is on. To the right is the air recirculation button, which, when turned on, will ensure that the air coming through the HVAC system is filtered. Magni uses a HEPA filter system, which allows the operator to work in most any conditions while ensuring their safety. Moving just below to the left is the temperature control. You can adjust hotter or colder by pressing the plus or minus signs. To the right is the fan speed control. There are 3 settings which are adjusted by pressing the plus or minus signs. In the middle portion of the screen, just above the machine picture, you'll find the controls for the various working lights. Starting from the left is the button for the boom tip LED work lights. Moving right is the button for the front of cab LED work lights. Next is the button to turn on the working beacon light. This amber-colored light can be turned on to signal that the machine is in use, and it is recommended that you use this feature. On the far right is the button for the back of cab LED work lights. On the bottom portion of the screen, and starting in the upper row left button, is the Enable RPM Engine Request button. Turning this on will enable the 2 buttons on the right to be used to increase or decrease the RPMs. The number between the plus and minus buttons will display the engine RPMs. Moving down to the next row of buttons, and starting from the left, is the radiator fan reverse option. Magnis comes standard with an inverted radiator, and the fan can be set to blow in reverse to eliminate debris to allow for better airflow. If you activate this, be aware that you will hear some noises that are different than under normal function. This is only to be used if you're working in conditions such as high levels of dust, heavy snowfall, or falling debris. To the right is the button that activates the Bluetooth connection with the radio remote. Next is the Auto RPM selector, which ensures that the machine has a minimum level of RPMs when making picks, etc. This should be left on at all times.